Good afternoon to everybody. Parsha Toledot. When I come to Parsha Toledot, I think of Rav Soloveitchik who once said that Judaism is a paradox and not a paradise. What he meant by that was that it's not always a happy-go-lucky type of way of life. Now, what did I have in mind when I said that? I saw that there was a very, very interesting gematria. There's always a lot of machlokot on the use of gematriot. The Mishnah in Pirkei Avot says that gematriot is one of the systems of learning and interpreting Torah, but of course it has to be done according to certain masorot, certain traditions. The Gemara learns out certain halachot from gematriot, and the Baal HaTurim, he the son of the Rosh, lived in the 15th century, so the author of also the Tur Shulchan Aruch. So Bekitzer, the Baal Turim shows a very incongruous gematria in our parasha. The incongruous gematria is that if you take the word Eisav and you take the word Shalom, they're the same gematria, 376. Take the word Shin is Ayin of Eisav is 70. The Sin is 300. And the Vav is 6, 376. You take the word Shalom, Shin 300, Lamed 30, Vav 6, Mem 40, 376. What does this say to us? Eisav equals in gematria Shalom. In this parasha, it says one explanation in the book of Bamidbar. When it comes to Birkat Kohanim, he says there's another explanation, and that is that when it says V'yasem lecha Shalom in Birkat Kohanim, so it's as if it says V'yasem lecha Shalom / Eisav. What it means is that a person should greet everyone, a Jew as well. The famous story that Rabbi Eisenberg speaks about his relative, Rav Ruben Feinstein, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, who one of Rav Moshe Feinstein's son, that he always used to go to shul on Shabbat, and there was always a person with a nice black coat, black beard, who he used to say Good Shabbos to, and the other person used to say return Good Shabbos to him also. And one day, the Rebbetzin, Rabbi Feinstein's wife was, Rav Ruben's wife was accompanying him. And she said, why do you say Shabbat Shalom to him? He said, what do you mean? Yeah, I say Shabbat Shalom. He returns the greeting. So she says to him, but he's not even Jewish. He's a Greek Orthodox priest. He says, so what? So as a Greek Orthodox priest, I say Shabbat Shalom. He says Shabbat Shalom back to me. And everybody's happy. So apparently that the end of the story actually is that there was some project in which the people in they needed some haskama, some sort of a consent to a property, a building that was going to be built on, and that Greek Orthodox priest, he turned around and he said, yeah, there's nothing wrong with over here Jews making this building. I happen to know them. To know them, inverted commas, they very cordial, friendly people. We don't do that. We don't say in order to be polite. We do things because that's a menschlichkeit, got nothing to do with being good mannered. That's part of the tradition of Am Yisrael. That's the one pshat. The other pshat is that something which is a more, this is the part which is a more paradox, more than a paradise, and that's the second explanation of the gematria of Eisav and Shalom. We experience it the whole time in our conflicts, and especially with our enemies from within and from without in Eretz Israel. Everyone knows in the news that there were six NGOs of the Palestinians, which were just a front for terrorism. And of course, the anti-Semites in the European Union and others and Americans were shocked. How could the Israeli Minister of Defense, how could he say that they're terrorist organizations after all they're NGOs? Yes, they are. That is exactly the point. That the Eisav is, that's what he does. That's exactly part of his tactics. That Eisav always, the Eisavs of the world, they always dressed up as people who, nothing less, were the icons of Shalom. Yeah, so that's what he did. These are NGOs which funnel funds of charity to the Hamas, etc. In the Israeli parliament, we've also got all those who don't have to sit and repeat it over here on Parsha Shavua, at certain parties connected to the Hamas, and everyone, because it suits them, not everyone, but a lot of people just like to turn a blind eye and think that things will go away. But that's how it always was, right? So you have, on the one hand, this paradise and paradox. You have, yes, Eisav is Shalom. There's inyan of being a mensch, someone who is a B'Tselem Elohim. Just in parenthesis, people used to say when Rabbi Soloveitchik, who was in Germany and in Berlin, with the rise of anti-Semitism and the Nazi party, but people were very civil, and they greeted all the Nazis in a very nice way. I'm saying before, for obviously 39, but that's how they were. That was about manners, being about civil. People who were like this mistaken culture instead of like just pure menschlichkeit. And then on the other hand, that's what the Torah tells us, that they always, one should know, that the Eisavs are always people who, they're full of words of shalom. They're exactly the same gematria. Shakadosh Baruch Hu should give us Hashem Oz Lamo Yiten, Hashem Yivarech et Amo B'Shalom. The Gemara is Doresh that may Hashem give us strength, the strength of the Torah, and through the strength of the Torah, we get to a true shalom. Shabbat shalom lekulam.